Hi everyone, so in today's video I'm going to show you how to paint an eye coming from the perspective of the less complicated your process is, the better your painting is going to look. So without any further ado, let's just jump right into the video. Alright you guys, so to start off with, I have this base sketch ready as always. If you don't have it, just take a screenshot and trace over it. This video is meant to help you out. So even if you trace over it and pick up the same exact colors that I'm using in this video, it's completely fine. Here I'm adding base colors around the eyes as the skin color and in the iris as well. So that is going to be the first step. Now about tracing and picking up the same colors, you'll learn better when you actually follow the same exact process and same exact steps. Okay, that is like the number one way to learn, because when you are actually doing it and practicing it and painting it, you're gonna realize a lot of things about that specific process. You're gonna pick up your own tips and tricks that you can implement later on in your other paintings. So it is absolutely fine if you go ahead and trace this is exact same eye and pick up the exact same palette to actually see how simple the process is and to actually just learn it way better. So yeah, that was like the first step to add in the base color. Here I'm actually gonna start adding details on the iris part of it, and around the iris, the white part of the eye, I'm gonna start adding detail there. But right here what I'm doing is I picked up this colorless brush and I started blending all these sketch lines out like really lightly. Also, I'm not gonna blend out the eyelashes. Obviously I don't want to ruin them, they're looking incredibly cute, so just make sure you're blending out the lines only. So yeah, that's going to be our step number 2. Step number 3 is to actually start adding details. As I said, I'm gonna start by adding details on the iris and the part around iris. So I picked up this really light skin kind of color, which is like really close to the base skin color I used, and I'm gonna use it for the white part of the eyes. And I know the colors are looking quite dull right now, but for now just trust the process. So for the details, I first make sure that I have locked the layer so that the color is not spilling out this shape. And then I picked up the darker version of the base color that I had added, and I am using that color to add this shadowy effect over the iris and also the white part around the iris. Just make sure that color, the darker color you are picking up, is not too dark, because that actually kind of messes up the painting, and that's one thing that I realized I was doing wrong in most of my paintings, and I used to spend a lot of time just to make sure that I am fixing that. I also created this circle kind of thing with this dark bluish kind of color for the pupil, and while at the time I was painting this and recording at the same time, I was actually looking at the reference. I will give you guys a link to the reference. I actually really liked the way they painted the eye. It looked so simple yet so beautiful that I wanted to give it a try. I also picked up colors from that painting only because I wanted to try out these simple colors and see if they can actually make a painting look that beautiful as it looked in the reference. So, but if you still want me to explain the colors in some separate video as to how to pick up colors to paint skin tones, I am happy to do that. But yeah, for now I'm just using this palette. So yeah, for the detail of the eye, it's like really simple. I added this base color, I picked up a darker version of the base color to add shadow, and that's it. That's all you have to do. There's like nothing more to it, and that's why I really like this whole process and the color palette itself as well, because it's so simple, so straightforward. And I added this little highlight on the iris of the eye as well. So yeah, that's going to be that for our third step, I believe. And for the third step, what I did, I created a new layer. I picked up this really dark maroon color. Again, this is not in the palette, but I believe this color is really good to add detail. I added this color right in between the white part of the eye and the upper water line of the eyes, just to add that depth in between the two. Just add it really lightly, and I'm using tattoo inker as my brush. And again, I'm pretty sure I went over that line with a colorless brush just to make sure it's not looking that harsh. So do that, but if it's not looking that harsh, you don't have to go ahead and blend it out. But if you feel the need to, and if you think it's like a little too harsh, just go ahead and pick up the colorless brush. What it's going to do is it's going to spread that maroonish color out a little bit over that white part of the eye. Gonna, add this really sort of pink reddish tint to that white part of the eye, which actually looks incredibly cute when you're actually painting eyes. It looks actually really, really realistic when you do that. So that's going to be our step number 4. As I said, we are gonna, add detail in the iris part of the eyes first, and then we are gonna move our way upwards or outwards towards the crease area, the eyelid, and the lower part of the eye and everything else. So yeah, that's going to be our step number 4. In the next step, I'm adding this really darker shade of the base skin color in the upper water line. So I start by adding this, and when you're doing this, when you're painting this, and when the painting is this minimal, you really need to trust the process. Like while I was painting this, I was like, I don't know how this is going to turn out, but I had to literally trust the process. So again, I went ahead, picked up this darker version of the skin color, added it in the upper water line, and it wasn't dark enough. So what I did, I picked up another darker color, but I added a little hint of red to it while I was picking the colors. So I did not exactly use the color palette I picked up from the painting. I actually sometimes go ahead and pick my own colors up. That's why I said if you want a tutorial as to how to pick colors while you're painting skin, I would love to do that. So as I said, I picked up this really reddish pinkish kind of color, and I added over the upper water line just to add a little bit of darkness. And I didn't want to add really dark colors over there. So that's that. So that's going to be our step number 5. And it was, again, really, really easy. In the next step, I am actually going to start adding color to the crease of the eye. So I picked up this darker color. I picked up tattoo inker as my brush. I literally added this little line, and I picked up my colorless brush to blend it out and to spread the color out around the crease of the eyes like this. Then I picked up this another skin color, which was not as dark as the previous one, which we used for the crease. I added this color on the eyelid. I also kind of added it around the crease as well, and also on the lower part of the eyes as well, like right underneath the lower lashes like that. So I again picked up this darker brown color, picked up this airbrush just to intensify the crease a little bit more. But you guys, this step was so simple and it's already looking so good that I don't even have to explain it that much. In the next step, I am picking up tattoo inker as my brush and a black color. In the next step, I'm picking up this same airbrush. I'm just gonna give you guys the name of it. And I picked up this black color. I added this color right where the upper water line is ending to create a base for eyelashes. Then I picked up tattoo inker as my brush and I started creating eyelashes. I already had eyelashes created, but I just wanted to intensify and match it with the base of the eyelash that we just created using that airbrush. So that's what I did. I'll be linking all the eyelash tutorials I have on this channel and also eyebrow tutorials I have on this channel down in the description box below. Make sure to check it out, but eyelashes are actually pretty easy to create. So once I was done with that, I again went ahead and picked up even darker version of the maroon color that we added right in between the upper waterline and also the white part of the eye. I picked up that color, I picked up tattoo inker once again, and I just added this color just to add a little more depth to that area of the eye. You can skip this step, you don't have to do it. I like to do it because these colors, these dark colors, add a lot of depth to certain areas. And this is the kind of area where the upper waterline and the white part of the eyes are kind of meeting. This is the area where you want to add deep colors. So that's why I went ahead and added this color. I also used the same color in the same brush and added this color on the crease area just a little bit, just a little touch of it, just to add that depth to the crease of the eye as well. I also went ahead and picked up a dark brown color and I filled up the inner tear duct of the eyes. It actually looked good that way, and it was actually that way in the reference as well, so I went ahead and did that. Then of course I started drawing the eyebrows. Again, nothing much to explain here because I already have a lot of tutorials on my channel on eyebrows. But basically what I'm doing is I am using this brush called Tattoo Inker, and I'm creating these hair-like strands with the shape of the eyebrow, and then I will be going ahead with colorless brush and will be blending these out. And that will actually help us into filling up some color around the hair strands as well when we do it with the colorless brush. Also, I'm extremely sorry, you guys, if you hear a lot of noises in the background. It's this festive season and I just cannot help it, but I really wanted to make this tutorial and upload it because I really liked this process. So just excuse any background noise. I'm really extremely sorry about it. But yeah, that's how I did the eyebrows. Again, go ahead and check the description out for all the tutorials, but I think eyebrows are really easy. As I just showed you guys, the brush called Tattoo Inker is really good for both eyelashes and eyebrows. Even if you are drawing hair, Tattoo Inker is a really good brush for all of those purposes. In the end, I went ahead again, picked up white color and Tattoo Inker as my brush. I started adding these little white dots around the eyes just to add a little bit of something, some sort of sparkle. And I also added that in the on the iris part of the eyes and also the white part of the eyes. It just adds this glow almost to the eyes, and it looks as if they're kind of wet. And that's the kind of look we are going for when we are drawing eyes, because our eyes are actually like that, if that makes any sense. So that's what I did. I added a little bit of dots here and there just to add this little sparkly almost kind of look to the eye. And in the end, I went ahead and picked up a really dark maroon color and I used it to actually fill the sparse area of the eyebrows because it was just looking very light, you know, it was just not looking that good. So I had to like add this color, and I kind of used colorless brush to spread that color out towards the starting part of the eyebrow. So that's it. That's how you actually paint eyes, or anything for that matter, any feature of the face for that matter. The whole purpose of this video was to show you that your process can be really simple, the colors can be really simple, but the results you're getting out of those can still be really good if you pull all that together in a good way. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give this video a big thumbs up. If you do end up creating the same exact eye, please tag me on Instagram. I would love to see that. Other than that, I will see you guys in my next video.